Hey Pirates, Mr. Howard here. I'm going to be teaching you how to draw two very interesting and beautiful shapes using math today. That might sound surprising, but you can make a lot of neat pictures if you start with a basic pattern and just follow through with it. I'll show you what I mean in a bit, and don't worry, we're not going to make anything this complicated. If you do want to make something that complicated, take pre-calculus. Alright, so our two shapes that we're going to make are on the screen now. Um, First up, how do you make a heart using only straight lines? And is it possible? So let's see. So this is not the figure we're going to use to make our heart, but I just want to show how you can make a curve using only straight lines. So like I said before, you've got to have a pattern and you've got to follow through with it. So the pattern is we're going to start with the lowest number on our x-axis. We're going to exclude 0. Start with your lowest number and connect it to the highest number. And then do the same thing for this one and that 10. So it'll end up looking like this. So no curve yet, but follow through with the pattern. So now take the next smallest number and connect it to the next largest number. So 2 is going to go to 9 on both of these axes, and it'll look like this. Maybe you can see where the curve is going to end up now, but we're going to do this one more time. So 3 will go to 8, 8 will go to 3, and then I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it looks like once we connect all the lines. And right here is where we're going to find our curve. So this is not how we're going to make our heart. We are, instead of using an x and a y axis, we're going to turn those two axes into a circle. So our tick marks will be on the circle, and our lines, these lines here, are going to be inside the circle, and somehow a heart is going to happen from that. So here's a circle we're going to use. Skip ahead about 20 seconds if you don't want to see what the end result is going to look like. But here's what we're going for. This is called a cardioid because it resembles a heart. Cardio, comes from that root word, means heart. So let me show you how to make it. So you start anywhere you want, and I chose to start right here at the bottom. Any of my starting points are going to be given by check marks. And where I end the line, that will be an X. So you start here, you just end one over. Okay, that's just like your initial move. So from here on out, here's the pattern. Wherever you ended, or excuse me, began your first line, you're going to begin the new line 1 unit over. And where you ended the first line, you're going to end 2 units over. So my new line is going to be this check mark to that X right there. So you still can't see it because it's so close, but let me show you the next one. So I began here in my last line, I'm going to begin 1 over in my new line. I ended here in my last line, I'm going to end 2 tick marks over in my new line. So it's still hard to see. Let's see what it looks like after we do 10 of these. Alright, so we can finally see the lines are starting to come in the circle more. Let's do a quarter of the way through the circle. So now it's starting to become more and more pronounced. It is a quarter of the way through the circle and not a half. I know the X's are halfway around, but the check marks are only a quarter of the way through the circle. You're going to be completely done once those check marks go all the way around. And here's what it looks like halfway. We know it's halfway because look at this final line that I drew. It goes right through the center, and where it ended 1 unit before this whole process began. So if you do this all the way around, this is what you end up getting. And let me backtrack 1 second, give you a little tip. Once you reach this point, your X's are going to start to repeat. So if I were you, I would erase all of the X's at this point except for this one right here, so you know, don't forget where you left off. All right, second shape. Hopefully you recognize this little guy on the screen. This is Link from the Zelda games. We're going to see how this shape right here shows up. It's going to show up in a pretty unlikely place. Maybe you've heard of Pascal's triangle. Maybe not, but I'm going to teach you how to generate it, and we'll see how that shape shows up. So Pascal's triangle, both of the outer diagonals are made up of ones, and I just didn't fill it in on either one of these sides. But how you get the middle cell is you take the two numbers that are above it and add them together. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So for this one, this cell, I'm going to do 1 plus 2, and that's 3. And then so for this one, I'm going to do 2 plus 1, and it'll give me 3. And then this cell, 1 plus 3 is 4. And you can just do this all the way down until you get tired. So this is the file that will be available to you at the end of the presentation. And here's what you're going to do. Fill in all the missing cells, and then you're going to color all the even cells one color and all the odd cells a different color. And if you do that, this is what you'll end up getting. So why does this happen? Well, think about any two odd numbers and add them together. What kind of number did you get? You should have got an even number. Well, take a look at my triangle here. All my odds are red and all my evens are blue. Anytime you've got two odds next to each other, look at what's right below it. It's a blue. So red and red will always make a blue cell. And you can do it with two evens. If you add two even numbers, like 6 and 4, it's always going to make an even number. So blue and blue will always go to a blue. Now, if you add an even and an odd, you're always going to get an odd number. So red and blue will always make red. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Here's a link to the resources. And, you know, if we get a good enough response, maybe we'll make another video soon.